Welcome back. Episode 20. Who would have thought it? We made it. Merry Christmas to all our fanatics. With me is Dan, a very bleary-eyed Howard. And for once, one day only, we have Murphy, who's been reading the Alex Ferguson book and clearly took to the drink because of it. Man, happy Christmas. How are we?
Happy
Season's
Christmas, like
greetings.
what the fuck?
Season's
Who's this Murphy thing? Explain
I
this.
don't know. I sent out the email to you, Dan, and Kieran, and you and Dan are here. I'm here. Kieran isn't here, but there is a fucking elf called Murphy. So I mean, look, I'll be talking to him later. I'll see what I don't know, but look, it is what it is.
I
He'll,
don't know.
he'll probably contribute more than Kieran has in our episodes anyway. So
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from Kieran yet, so this is his replacement. We'll see what he offers. Okay, we'll get straight into it. Liverpool versus Arsenal. I was watching the second half with Howard. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I thought it was a great game. Um, it had the flow. It was a brilliant game. It was like basically both teams were attacking each other. So, and I thought Salah's goal was absolutely fantastic. It kind of brought me back to the goal he got against City a couple of years ago. He turned into Zinchenko inside out. So Dan, I'm going to get your views on the game first, and how you'll have a chance to review. Go ahead,
yeah, it was a very good
Dan.
game. Very fast paced. Yeah, I thought Salah's goal was a good goal. I think Zinchenko though was really average, and his defending for it
Yeah,
was average. And all day he was fierce poor. You could get at him. Yeah, and it was a great goal though. It was needed because I thought in the first 20-25 minutes, Arsenal were they went for the juggler. Like they were the team that looked like they were going, like really were comfortable in their shape, and they caused a lot of problems in the first half. Thought the goal then kind of changed. We got more into the game. And then second half was a lot kind of neither sides kind of clicked. Like we were just like we've been for the last few weeks. We're just the distribution for the final pass or like they nearly were overplaying it at times. They didn't take a shot when they could have taken a shot. And in that first 15, maybe 20 minutes of the second half, thought they kind of had the foot on Arsenal's neck. Arsenal were trying to play out from the back, and they didn't take the chance. The Trent one was just criminal, like it was a 5-on-2. And you just stare at like moments where you just have to be clinical and take the chance. I thought Arsenal second half were more kind of controlled, more measured. I didn't think they pushed on at us. I think maybe we improved in that as well. And like for all the talk before the game about the midfield battle, like in the second half it was Endo and Jones that were the people who I thought
Do you
really had the
do you think?
energy.
Sorry to cut across you, Dan. Do you think
Yeah.
that was Endo's best game for Liverpool so far?
Definitely in the Premier League anyway. He's had a couple of games in Europe where that probably was him. I thought the energy midfield was good, but where it had the energy, then it just didn't have that creative edge that the likes of Odegaard and that can give you. And that as well. And I thought Arsenal, like again, probably reflecting on it, like Arsenal and Liverpool, they both have had patterns this season where it just doesn't look like the front kind of are clicking well enough together. Like they have individual moments of brilliance, but like just that final kind of piece. Because Arsenal on another day, like as well, could have won that game. I think as well, especially in the way they started in the first half. If they continue that into the second half, like Gomez, for as well as he done kind of going forward, like he got caught a few times in behind Bisaka, and if they maybe had someone a bit more clinical in the box, they would have, they would have got something out of that. Like some Martinelli, I think Jesus, they're just not like kind of poachers in the box at a goal. Like, so you think of maybe if for the amount of quality that Saka has whipping balls in, if you had Tony or someone like that in there, like I think just that piece for Arsenal, I think, is what's missing. I think the centre backs was the takeaway from the game at all. It was Kanate's best game for us this season. And Tim Devon, Van Dijk, and Saliba and Gabriel, I thought were the standouts. It was defensively both teams had a solid enough kind of backline for a majority of the game in that as well. But just when you have that chance that Trent had, I still feel like it was the United game. It's 2 points dropped because I thought we might have seen it out if we had got that goal because that second half was quite tight. Wasn't much in it, and I thought that was the moment there where two mistakes from Arsenal, I think, on from their own corner, and we were away. It was 5-on-2. Like fuck me, like it was. So that was it, and
Oh,
I thought that it's probably a better point for Arsenal than it is us, but probably neither side will be like too disappointed going into the Christmas period. with the magnitude of the game. So that was kind of my overall thought on it.
No, it's a fair point. Howard, I'll go to you now. But also, I'll just start with the question: did Liverpool deserve a penalty for the Odegaard handball?
Well, I think it's a bit of a fair question to start me with. You just allowed
No, no,
Dan to
I'm
summarize the
starting
whole
you. I'm
game, and then
starting
you're
you.
just asking about the penalty. Like,
I want to know. I
I,
want to know
I,
straight
I
away.
definitely, I definitely think it was a penalty. Yeah, I definitely think it was a penalty.
Fair
All
enough.
day long. I think he does slip, and maybe that saves him a bit, but his hand goes towards the ball, like. So I think 9 times out of 10 you get that. So if I was on the other end, I'd be very disappointed that I didn't get it. Like,
I was
um,
surprised that it didn't go to VAR at all.
I know it went to VAR. They checked
Did it
it.
go to VAR? Apologies.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Gary
Sorry.
Neville
Sorry.
was on this. Yeah, Gary Neville said like they're checking it now, and then Arsenal had the ball for so long, so it didn't go out of play. You see, and Arsenal had the ball for so long, they're like, okay, check's complete, check's complete.
Oh,
So
okay. Sorry.
they looked at it, and Gary Neville said that he thinks because he was slipping and saved them. Jamie Carragher believed there was a penalty. So look, I think it probably was a penalty. Uh, Overall, it was a great game. It was end to end, like like the boxing match, like it was punch for punch.
Yeah.
I think that style of play at Anfield from Arsenal is a dangerous game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you come at Liverpool and you attack them on the counter, and then it doesn't work out, you're getting countered against, and like the crowd just goes crazy for that. Like, they once they if you nullify them and just like play really boring football, the crowd gets down, and the players struggle to get it together. While Arsenal are nearly a perfect opponent for Liverpool because they want to win as well. They're going for it, like, you know what I mean, and they can't control the game as well as like maybe a Man City or whatever would. So it does lead to a great game, but it's just end to end stuff like that 5-on-1, like Declan Rice. I thought Declan Rice was immense during the whole game. Like, I think if we didn't have him and it was Party in there, I don't think we win. I don't get a result there because there were so many times he blocked out to it, like some of the passes that were coming across, and intercepted on the counters from Liverpool. I thought was crucial. So he was. I thought he was a stand. Him and Saliba. Saliba is just different. Because Saliba and Kanate were both unreal. Like Martinelli
Yeah.
wasn't getting any change out of Kanate at all. I thought Martinelli was poor. He's not really hit the heights that he did last year. He kind of takes too much out of the ball a bit this season, so I'm kind of disappointed with him on the day. I thought Arsenal in general tact wasn't great. Like, they defended very well, but they weren't. I didn't think their performance was unbelievable or anything, but I think they did do what they needed to be done to get the result. I think they're delighted with the draw. Like, the Trent chance, obviously that was the big one. He needs to score that. Like, yeah, but overall, apart from that and the penalty, it was a very even game, I thought. Similar amount of shots,
Yeah.
similar amount of
I'd agree with that.
yeah. So
I
no, it
thought
was good game, good game.
very good game. I thought you both had played well in certain areas. The Trent chance is obviously the big one. Liverpool, I think, absolutely deserved the penalty. The Salah goal was fantastic, and it's just a reminder of what he
Oh
can do.
yeah,
Um,
just on the Zinchenko thing, like, I called it
yeah,
last week. He was very poor. He was like, it wasn't even like his defending was poor. He got
Everything.
his confidence went so badly during the game that even when he was on the ball, which he's really good at, usually, like, he was poor at that. So that kind of shows you, like, the pressure and the confidence. You could see it seeping away from him, and that just, he's a confidence player. Like, he's a real
yeah,
confidence player. So we called it last year. That was our last week. That was the weak spot. Cutting in, like, he probably should have put his foot at the ball when Salah. He was afraid to take him down, I think, for a penalty. But you seen Gabriel literally, I think a couple of minutes later was on Salah. Salah tried to do the exact same thing and he just cut him off. Like, he defended it properly. So, like, you
okay.
need to know
So,
how to defend against Salah. Like, that's bottom line.
all right. So, Howard, a couple of questions. So, Arsenal are top of the tree on Christmas Day.
Oh,
Will he be top of the tree at the end of May?
fucking of course. Definitely. Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, look, you gotta believe. I was chatting to
Say that again, Howard. Say that again, Howard. You broke up.
sorry, I was saying, of course, 100% top of the league. I was like, why wouldn't you? Like, we're literally, we were leading the league for pretty much the whole season last season, and we're top of the league Christmas. So you got to believe, like, so I think this year could be the year. And I still think we're going to improve again after January. So I was talking to an Arsenal fan last night, and they're like, "Fucking hell, yeah, we're going to win the league." He said you should be telling everyone on that
Okay.
podcast that we're going to win the league. So here we are.
Okay. Last question. 1 out of 10. How hungover are you?
How drunk am I? Say I'm a 7, maybe
All
7.
right, not bad. Dan, last question to you. Arsenal are top of the league at Christmas. Who do you think will be top of the league at the end of May?
I still think that there's frailties in both Liverpool and Arsenal. So, and I still have that feeling that City
Come
next season.
on, Dan, don't sit in the fence,
Yeah,
Dan.
no, I am getting to it. I just think that De Bruyne coming back and they won't be as poor second half of the season. Arsenal can't win a league with Jesus up front and Rayan goals, and I don't think that our lack of I don't know what it is that's missing in that front three, but if that's not firing on all cylinders, we're going to
Clip that,
struggle.
Deck.
Oh,
Clip that.
I
Clip that.
so so I'm going to go for Man City. I think based on that, I think yeah. I'm not
Okay.
convinced by Arsenal or Liverpool. In saying that, if Arsenal went and bought Tony in January, we'd be having a different conversation, in my opinion.
As a
Can I just?
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, Howard.
I was going to say I was looking at like all the teams there and the amount of points that they've lost or gained compared to the same fixtures last season. Talking about against the same teams last season, and Arsenal are -1, so that means they're down 1 point on comparison to where they were last year in relation to the teams that they played. Man City are
Okay.
-12.
Oh,
So that's a lot in comparison to, like, you can say they get better in the second half of the season, but they've lost a lot more points against teams that they didn't lose points against last year.
yeah. But
Yeah, but the form book would suggest though that like
That
Arsenal
doesn't
haven't
matter
done
in
it.
it.
No, like if it gets to like it's that stage of the season, like it's quite it'll be that stage of the season for both Liverpool and Arsenal. Are they still going to be in with a chance with 6-7 games to go? And that's
Yeah.
when then the real kind of pressure comes on, and that's where the kind of how far would Arsenal be in the Champions League at that stage as well?
Oh, yeah,
There's a lot of things
yeah.
like variables in it, and I just think that Arsenal, if they were to get one or two injuries, no more than ourselves, and as well, I still think that even though City are a bit weaker squad wise, even with one or two injuries, I still think the players that have come on
Yeah.
are better than the players that we have and
Well,
ye have. And you look at the benches yesterday, like Howard, there wasn't an awful lot to come off either of
no,
ours.
but we Arsenal in our defence, we have Partey and Timber to come back hopefully before. Well, Timber hopefully will be back in February, and Partey will be back in January. And Tomiyasu. So like we have, there's getting to a few options hopefully for the second half of the season. But I know what you mean. Like we're
We have
not.
no left back, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and that is
Yeah. Yeah.
Gomez, you might get away with it. Some games. I'm not convinced with him a left back. I'm probably not convinced with him overall. I think he has moments where he's very good, but he always has a mistake in him. He always has moments and lapses of concentration that can cost you goals.
who
So
was who was the sorry, Dan? Who was the player that pushed Simicast?
Saka.
Saka. I thought Klopp was
Klopp
going
took
to
him out.
mental.
Just see, Klopp took him out.
yeah.
Klopp took him out, but I mean, yeah, I thought
He was
Klopp had
fucking
a look.
screaming at him, get up.
Klopp had a look on his face. I was like, he was fit to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, look, there was a shove in the back or whatever, But I thought on the day Arsenal, I was very happy with the 1-1 in the end, I thought the midfield of Liverpool was better than what I was expecting as well. Endo had a good game, in fairness to him.
I think we're really missing
I
Jota
agree.
in the last few weeks as well. I think we're really missing him because he's the poacher. He's the one that he just arrives out of nowhere and can get, like, I just feel we're missing him because I don't know, but this season, like, Diaz and Gapco have just both been at times really average. I think Diaz is struggling. There's no electricity there, whether it be the two injuries from
And
last season.
Nunez, of course.
Yeah, but like that, like Nunez in midweek, like Nunez probably should have started yesterday because the kind of game that it was, like Gapco, just everything is so slow. The build up and everything is quite slow with him, I find.
Yeah.
And like Nunez was actually very good against West Ham during the week. And I think Carragher kind of referenced. I think he thinks that Nunez should be the second name on the team sheet. And like for me, it'd be Jota, I think. But yeah, I think Jota, Nunez, and Salah might be, with Jota's backfield, might be something to look at going forward because I just feel like Apple's been given a lot of chances and Diaz, just whatever it is, just doesn't seem, he's not even taking players on and he's very predictable,
Yeah. Like I was going to say there, like when and if Liverpool lose Salah, like when he leaves, like they're gonna struggle to replace him because like yesterday he's like he's obviously the best player on the pitch, like from a world class talented point of view, like. But like
Yeah.
as you said, you named out the strikers they have there, and they need to up their game and all
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
just like
I
if you
buy
take Salah away from that, like you're really in trouble. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
You're probably like fighting for fourth or whatever. Like
I buy Bowen, and I think that Bowen is the one. And I messaged Ronan actually during the week about it. Just don't
really,
see him, West Ham next year. I think Bowen is probably one of the ones you looked at last season with a few like Madison, a few of them they were looking at. I think Bowen is the one for me, maybe outside
Yeah,
of that he definitely could do like go to maybe a top club and do well. Kind of like Rice, I think he's really really good. I think he's a really really good
yeah.
player. And again, he'd fit well on that side, and he
yeah.
has the work rate on that as well. So I know I'm not saying that he's at Salah's level, but I'm just looking at around say the Premier League, and he would be the one for me that I would be looking at. Yeah,
All right. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Actually, that's a very good point. Mark Wong, definitely. Definitely. Like, and again, no disrespect to West Ham, but I think Bowen is a level up again.
and Kudos
And
and Paqueta. I'm
and
like,
a few, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
they're I don't know if they're a sporting director or whoever, but like they have a in picking out Paqueta and Kudos, they're like both of them
yeah,
are fantastic coups for West Ham. And again, Paqueta looked like he'd be one that will be moving on. Again, he was excellent again.
yeah. But yeah, like if Liverpool were to buy Bowen for whatever reason, just seems to be like almost an ideal fit for Liverpool. But we'll see. Rest results from yesterday. So, Thursday, Friday, and yesterday. So, Palace won, Brighton won, Villa won, Sheffield United won. We thought Villa would be top at Christmas if they
Yeah,
had. If
you were
I
talking
mean,
crazy, Dick. You were talking
I'm not
crazy.
talking crazy. I'm
You were
not.
talking crazy. I told you,
Howard,
like I told you, Villa are shite. Like
Howard, you're drunk. Shut up. Come here. If what's he call it? I wasn't talking crazy. Villa bottled it.
they did, of
Villa
course. Yeah.
completely bottled it. They were at home to probably the weakest team in the league. Their home form is fantastic, and yet you couldn't get the job done. They nearly lost the game. They had the chance to go top of Christmas. All I can kind of take from that is that the nerves got the better of them.
I,
And
I don't know. I don't know. Bottled is a very fucking. Did you watch the game? Like
yes,
Yeah,
I did. I'm sorry, Dan, all right, but they
bottled
had
it. Oh,
yeah, they
I'm
had
having
the
that.
chance. They had look. They had the chance to go top at Christmas. I mean, that happens literally one and oh, it doesn't. It doesn't happen. So for a team like that to kind of have a chance to go top of Christmas, playing the weakest team in the league, I'm sorry, they had a huge
I
chance.
agree.
Just
I agree.
thank you, drunk Howard.
Yeah, I
No,
just
come
don't think
here.
I just don't think they bottled it. I think that Sheffield United done like Liverpool were away at Sheffield United a couple of weeks ago, and they were very very lucky to win the game. They didn't really have it, and
That's
I
a
thought
way though, Dan. Like like
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah. But
home.
I just thought that they sat in really deep. Villa had like nearly 90% of the ball, and it wasn't with the lack of effort. They got hit and they were lucky actually to come away with a point. But like to say like, oh, Villa bottled it, like they played within themselves. I thought Villa actually like they pushed and pushed, but they weren't getting much change. And I thought Sheffield United actually it's a bit disrespectful to say that Sheffield United actually defended
Well,
very very
look.
well.
Let's put it this way: if they're not good enough, if it's not bottling and they're not good enough to beat Sheffield United, they're not good enough to be sitting at the top of the table. Like
That's
that's
a
my
fair
opinion.
point. I'm gonna leave it at that. Spurs 2, Everton 1. Very good game, actually. Not Forest 2, Bournemouth 3,
The,
Luton
the,
1, Newcastle
Just
0.
yeah, on the Notts Forest one, I don't know that maybe Dan, you're about to say this, that tackle that was the joke tackle, second yellow card for I don't know one of the players for Nottingham
Bally, I
Forest.
think. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
it was like
Bally.
it was terrible. It was actually two things. It was that, and also I don't think will we see a better header over a ball than Solanke's two headers this season because they were both out of this world headers and
Yeah.
he's a man that's flying. But yeah,
Isn't he?
it was never
Yeah.
never a red card, and I do worry though about the appointments. I don't know, it's getting mixed kind of feelings that people are saying different things, but I would be concerned for especially when you look at the table now. But I that didn't fill me full of confidence with who they put in with Nuno coming in. So interesting to see. They're probably
Yeah, no,
spending another few pounds in January, like yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that. I don't think Nuno is the man for Notts Forest. Luton 1, Newcastle 0. That was a huge win for Luton.
Great win,
Fulham
yeah.
nil, Fulham nil, Burnley 2. Big win for Vincent. And then finally, West Ham 2, Man United nil. Left that one to last on purpose, obviously. I actually watched the game, watched the highlights of that one again yesterday evening. West Ham's goals were fantastic. Bowen's goal was excellent. Well, both goals were excellent. And there's just a very funny image going around online about Ten Hag with like bubbles on his head. I don't know if you've seen it, like from at the West Ham game.
Right.
It was a
They
really good
have
photo. Like,
there's loads of these meme things going around of like of other people that look like a guy who looks like Hoyland and a guy who looks like Ten Hag, but they're not actually, these
uh,
Ten Hag and Hoyland, but like just like it's like a poor
they have,
man's Ten Hag and
they have
Hoyland and
a
just
picture of
everyone's snagging them like
they have a picture of Phil Mitchell from
yeah,
EastEnders.
yeah, Bill Mitchell,
This is what Man United have done to Ten Hag.
yeah.
Um, okay, so we'll move on. So yesterday with the Liverpool Arsenal game, saw our Christmas competition take place. So over the last 2-3 weeks, we have had people kind of put in their predictions for the minute of the first goal and the first yellow card. So minute 4 was the first goal. So the winner is Connor Jordan for that one, and the winner of the other one is the first yellow card was in minute 38, and the winner of that is Finbar Lynch. So
Good Navan, man.
is it? He was you brought him
He's
in
my
that.
brother. He's my brother's friend. Yeah, my brother's friend.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. He
So
hasn't watched the podcast, I don't think, but he will now.
he better know. So I'm going to be sending
€50. I paid
out
him €50 to watch the podcast.
Yeah.
absolutely. So I'll be sending out the two of those vouchers to both of them, and I'm going to ask them both to kind of take a selfie with their voucher and send it in to us.
Proof that
Well,
Deck is not a scammer.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
proof they got it, but proof as well. There's
Close on or
great
close off?
close off. But boxes are a must, but close off. Why not? All right. So we'll preview 2 games over Stephen's Day, and the games I've picked are United and Aston Villa on Tuesday evening, and then Everton and Man City on Wednesday evening. So we'll start. We'll go through very quickly. We won't take too much time on it. Howard, United and Villa on Tuesday. Again, Villa after a disappointing, both teams after disappointing results. What do you think this game will bring up?
It's in Old Trafford, isn't it? So,
Yeah,
like, you'd fancy it. I don't know. Like United are just so poor at the moment. It's just like nothing's gone right for them at the moment. Like Hoyland hasn't done anything. We
you
were,
kind
we
of
were sitting, yeah,
you kind of feel sorry for Highland.
yeah. We were sitting here. We were sitting here when they signed him, like, and we were saying, oh, like they're putting so much pressure on him, and he needs to perform and all this kind of stuff. But like he hasn't. Like in the end of the day, we could say, oh, there's a player in there or whatever, but like he hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League yet, so like that's
Yeah,
not great.
yeah.
So I think he's put all his eggs in the Hoyle basket, Ten Hag, and it kind of hasn't worked out. So I just struggle to see where the team is going at the moment with Garnacho, and they're kind of relying on Garnacho a lot now. Hoyland and then
Garnacho, to his credit, has stepped up a little bit.
a little bit.
He
Yeah,
does, yeah, a
that's the
little
thing.
bit.
Like
Not,
he has
yeah, a
to
little
though.
bit.
He has to. He has to. There's no one else like and I think any player that gets that bit more responsibility, they can grow in confidence and perform better. But it's mad to say that like that they're sitting. I think eighth now, is it? They're dropping kind of dramatically now down the table. So it is
Yeah,
like yeah.
They've only scored one goal in their last 6 games as well. Like
one goal.
I think it's one.
seriously.
Yeah. Like they're struggling. They can't. Like it's definitely. I think it's like one goal. They're really struggling. I think like Hoyland is. He definitely. They spent big money on that as well, and he hasn't scored on that as well. But they really aren't. They're not even able. There's no pattern to play there to even create chances. At least for Liverpool and Arsenal, it's to get to the final third, and then maybe there's just a bit of kind of like you're not even able to build up to get the ball in really to their forward players to create chances. They've been really poor. They're actually probably the best of a bad bunch. Like he's had moments where he looks like he's a bit of a player, like needs to kind of improve on the end product. But like
Yeah,
again, like they're playing Anthony on the right wing, he just offers nothing. And
yeah,
they've no balance in midfield, and it's like I kind of thought there for a couple of games that Hoyland looked like he had a bit of something. I think there was one or two of the earlier Champions League games as well. He got a couple of goals and that, but they just haven't been able to kind of get anything going at all. Like
yeah.
they're just
But
no
like his goal scoring record, it
plan.
wasn't great before he came. Like so, I don't
No,
know
it
why
wasn't.
people
No.
assumed that he was going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
tear it up like in a different
Yeah.
league. So,
But you
um,
can't scapegoat him either, because you look at it, like Rashford was he 1 or 2 Premier League goals? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he's in, like, look at, I'd be looking at the players that are there that are
I
established players. And I'm not sure if this stat has changed. I don't think it has though. But like that, the last forward to score for Man United was Sancho. That was back in May. It's the last time United forward had scored a goal. So like
what.
that like puts it into kind of context there as to what they're dealing with. So
Like, where did it go now? Like, it's just like, like they've gone through the whole, the Ten Hag is the boss now. The players are going to get removed because they're not trying, blah blah blah. But like, what do you kind of do now? It's like, do you start looking at Ten Hag's position now? Like,
I
I
think
think.
I think
Sorry, Dan.
I'd be concerned because I think I mentioned last week, or if I didn't, I was thinking about it. It was the games that they have coming up, like they have to play Spurs and they have the Villa game. I think maybe it's Sheffield United or someone else that they might win. But like, you could be looking at it in January with a different lens, around them if they don't start picking up a few points over Christmas, as you said, they keep kind of dropping down the table. Because the sides around them now that are starting to beat them, like the West Ham there, if they're to lose to Villa. And I just think that he is, but like the big kind of things to try and like sort in January. So like we're talking about canceling Sancho's contract, which to me sounds bizarre. Considering, like, a couple of years ago, he's probably one of the best young talents in world football. We've also got Greenwood, who was one of the best young talents in world football, over to Getafe. They probably can't bring him back. So you're kind of looking at it going, right, they're financially stuck that they can't buy until they sell. You're looking at it, could they get Sancho? He's on 350 grand a week, so the chances are he's going to be difficult to ship off. But like, you're looking at Greenwood there, going, could you sell Greenwood off, get a few bob in, and try and reinvest it? Like, it is, they're in a position there though where like them two are big ones that just now for different reasons haven't worked out. Like, imagine Greenwood if he was playing on the right now. Like, when you look at Ante, you look at Greenwood. Like, fuck
Yeah.
me, the difference there. So, but what do they do, as you said, Howard? Because like, I see Donny Ivanovic forgot he even still played for you. Like, he's going to
yeah,
Frankfurt in January. I even still
yeah,
play there, but they've all of these kind of players that have just not worked out. Like, they spent big money on it, so many of them, and it's like you're looking at it going, Varane again didn't play at the weekend again. Like, he's in can't seem to get a run of games in him at all. So like, they're chopping and changing. A lot of it has been poor
yeah.
financially. They've been very poor in the market. Financially,
Years of recruitment. Like, this is like,
yeah, yeah,
this goes back maybe
years,
the last 5 6 years of poor recruitment, and that's what kills the club, like,
yeah,
for the
yeah,
foreseeable. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. And
And
it'll be interesting.
versus. So, no, I suppose so. Versus Aston Villa, who are very much kind of on the up, regardless of the result of the night. Tomorrow night, sorry, Stephen's night at Old Trafford. What would you be seeing result wise? Do you think Villa
Well, I
Yeah,
think
I
United?
think,
because United can't score a goal. You
yeah,
can't put. How can you predict the United victory when there's no pattern to their play? They can't score a goal. Like, is in, where the Villa will turn up and create chances. I'd imagine I'd be going for like Villa maybe to win it 1-0.
Howard?
uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say maybe 2-2 or something. It might be a draw. I think, like, United, like, they do tend to just not fall away too far with Ten Hag. Like, they usually don't slide too far. Like, they usually have a lot of bad results, but like if they keep going the way they're going, like, they're going to be down like mid-table.
Yeah.
I don't see that. So I'm kind of, that's why I'm maybe saying maybe a draw over the Christmas period against Villa they might get out of
Okay.
jail there.
All right. Vocal points. So again on Everton versus City on Wednesday night. So City are fresh off winning the FIFA Club World Cup. So technically, officially, the best
What
team in the world.
garbage! Like, what a other load of tripe.
Lad, I'll just take a minute or two just to talk about it. It is the whole competition. Like, it's the seven winners of whatever you want to call it, the Continental Champions League or its equivalent across the world. Like, and I mean, like, we played. I can't even pronounce their name again. The Asian champions, basically in the semi final, and then we played Fluminense. Basically, what's his name? Marcelo's playing with them. They have 4 or 5 players over the age of 30. Their goalkeeper is 43. They have another player who's 40 playing outfield. I mean, we won it 4-0. It was ridiculous. And kind of, I don't know how FIFA are going to the teams that go into this new tournament to start in the summer of 25, I don't know. I must read up about it. How the teams are going to go into it, like how they're going to be picked. But it'll be interesting. But I suppose, look, it's a trophy, and you can say, look, of the six possible trophies we could have won in this year, we won five of them, which is a brilliant return. But again, it's not like, in terms of competitiveness. There was very little competitiveness. City went strong. They played a strong team in both games. But I suppose for Everton, like I'd be worried about this game if I'm honest. Given Everton's,
Can I just say something about the FIFA World Cup thing?
yeah,
It doesn't really make sense. I know what they're trying to do next year with the clubs coming into it, like Chelsea and that. For I think even previous Champions League holders get it. But like it's like why do we like the European League is obviously way stronger than any other continent. So like how do you like it's like basically the winner of the European one will be the winner of the overall one. Like so it's kind of silly bringing in,
you know,
I think personally,
yeah,
other teams in from other places when they're just not up to the standard.
no, no, 100%, and it is 100% about money, as Dan said on the last episode. It's absolutely about money, and the
Money, money,
teams
money. Yeah,
taking part. Whatever about the players, like they'll be just coming off a season, and then maybe 2 3 weeks later, so in summer 25, they will be taking part in this other tournament. So 32 teams, as far as I know. Same thing, group stages, knockouts. So you're probably talking about a 3 week tournament, and then they'll probably finish that. They'll have a couple of weeks break, and then they'll go back
yeah,
into the season in August. So I mean, the players you can imagine will be annoyed, but the clubs themselves are getting so much money to partake in it, like they
yeah.
don't
50 million
care.
apparently just
Yeah, I
to play it.
mean, yeah. So I mean, it's FIFA's kind of equivalent. FIFA are very jealous of UEFA because
Yeah,
UEFA have the Champions League, and the Champions League is probably the most watched tournament in the world, cup tournament, anyways. And UEFA have this annually, whereas
yeah,
FIFA have their big thing every 4 years, the World
yeah,
Cup. So now they want to recreate something else that basically gives them a little bit of more power in terms of their kind of versus UEFA. So they've created this new Club World Cup that they're hoping that will attract more and more. But again, when you boil it down, it's all about money.
yeah,
And yeah, so look, we'll see. It's not starting until the summer of 25, another 2 years. So I mean, we'll see what happens with it. Just going back to Everton and City. I suppose I'd be a little bit worried about this game, given City's recent form in the league. But the fact is, we're 6 points off Arsenal on top with a game in hand. And if we were to beat Everton, I know it's Everton and sorry, Arsenal and Liverpool are both playing as well midweek, but like there's a game in hand there now, and you could be bringing it back to 3 points. So, like all is not doom and gloom. We haven't been playing well, but like thankfully the gap isn't that big. But given Everton's current form, we're about yesterday. I know they lost to Spurs, but they weren't bad either yesterday. They're playing well. They're at home. They have a bit of a chip on their shoulder for being fined. I think it's a very bad time to be playing Everton. I'm not looking forward to it. I can see, I don't think we'll lose, but I could easily see that game being a draw again, another draw for us. Dan,
yeah,
I think,
Yeah, no, I think Everton will sit in, make it difficult. But I think the City will have much for them. I
I
know
think,
they've had a good few good results, Everton, and they are on the up. But I'd imagine, yeah,
yeah,
that sit in, but that City. I don't know whether or not Haaland is back. That'd be just one question mark whether or not he'll be back for it. We don't really know yet, do we? So, but I still think they'll have enough to go away, and I think there'll be an extra incentive given the way the results have gone to be kind of like right, fuck, we had messed up here a bit, but
yeah,
now it'll show you there's a bit of confidence. So I suppose the other side of it is they will have gained a bit more confidence in going away and winning this. Even just from their ego point of view of it, like that they are
yeah,
the
yeah,
best team in the world and all this kind of stuff. And they did bring in a couple of goals. Like Alvarez had scored; it was his first one in a while. He got back on the
yeah.
score sheet. So I think all in all that they'll go away. Like again, it's not the best place to be going over the Christmas period. To be going to Goodison Park, but I just have a feeling that they'll that Everton will really sit back and kind of they're the kind of games where City will always usually find a way to break a team like that down. I don't see Everton going at City, so I think that it'll be I think 2-0 to City.
All right. Again, I get what you're saying, but I would rather go to other places than go to Sun at
yeah.
the moment. You
It's a
know?
it's a tough game to have after the games you've done in the FIFA
Yeah,
World Club thing, and like the fact that their form hasn't been great either. And what
Yeah.
is it like? It's probably like is it an evening kickoff or something? Is it?
It's Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock.
Mm.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, like under the lights. So it's not like I wouldn't be, yeah, excited for it. Like if I was a City fan, because just just because of the game it could turn out to be.
Um,
But yeah, but they should get the job done. You'd imagine.
yeah. All right, we'll move swiftly on. I'm not going to keep you too long, man. So again, now that the Christmas competition is over, our weekly weekend prediction competition is back in. So if you are able to predict the three correct scores for our games this week, which is next weekend, Luton versus Chelsea, Notts Forest versus Man United, and Liverpool versus Newcastle on Monday the 1st of January. If you are to predict three correct scores, you will be given tickets to a Premier League team of your choice. So, man, we'll go through them very quickly. Luton versus Chelsea. Dan, what do you think?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Hmm. Um,
It's a
God.
tricky one. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And I didn't realize we were back doing the predictions, so I hadn't even thought about them. So, I go for a draw, 1-1. Yeah, I go 1-1.
Very safe.
Yeah, Chelsea, I can't. Like, it's hard to trust them. Like, and Luton are
Yeah.
getting out at home. Luton at home are actually they're a
Luton
difficult
are
opposition. You
decent at
know,
home. Yeah,
yeah. So I go for a draw there, but would it surprise me if Luton were to win though?
Yeah.
yeah. I,
Howard?
I'm gonna go 1-0 Luton. Fuck it.
Good
I think
man.
yeah.
Let's go.
I love like Chelsea have got so much misery on them this year. I think the misery train is gonna be fucking coming straight back at them after that game. I think hopefully. So
All
I
right.
gotta go 1-0 Luton.
Okay.
Potch
Howard
Potch
was,
had a bit of an outburst as well. Did you see that? He kind of looked like he was
Yeah,
yeah.
losing the head a bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
feeling
I
the
mean, you can
pressure.
imagine he comes into this team that is like full of players that are settling into a club. I mean, he's settling into a club, and I mean, it's just a bit of a yeah, it's a bit of a circus. Bit of a
Mm.
circus. Dan, Notts Forest versus Man United next weekend. Again, a tough one to predict.
Yeah, geez, I wonder who picked these fixtures. Wouldn't be the fella that had to go up the tickets, would it?
Kieran there in the corner.
Let me see. Forest. Oh God. I'll go for 1-0 United.
Okay. Man United. Howard.
I'll go for a draw to 1-1.
1-0. Cool. I know, finally, actually, has the makings of a great game. Liverpool versus Newcastle. Dan.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it will be a good game. And I think that one again is on New Year's Day. It's a late kickoff, so I'm sure
Yeah.
oh.
it'll be
Where in
bouncing.
Anfield?
Anfield, I think it's 8 o'clock kickoff, I think. On New Year's Day, so it'll be bouncing, hoping to start the new year off with
Will
three
you
points.
watch that with your brother?
Yeah, I've organised that. Yeah. So, yeah. We've actually got a few bottles of
Sounds it.
Moretti, and we got a few bottles of Moretti into the house for him to drink away his sorrows after we pumped them. So, and he's so funny because he's hates Nunes ever since what Nunes did. So every time he gets a chance to jibe, he's always jibing at Nunes. And I just kept saying to him, I said, "Come New Year's Day, Nunes, I just can't wait until he bangs one in, and I'm gonna fucking jump all over you, you fucking prick." So yeah, I think Newcastle they might be going through a bit of a spell there. I know players will come back, but they are still one of the better sides in the league. So I go for 2-0 Liverpool. But like it won't be. I imagine it'll be a tough enough game.
Yeah, definitely. Howard?
Yeah, I'll go 3-0 Liverpool. I think Liverpool will do a job. I think Newcastle they're just wrecked. They're a team that look like they're shattered, and then like having to go to Anfield on top of that, it's just bad timing for them at the moment. I think if they went maybe later on the season, it might be all right, but just not. They're not really in good shape. I don't think. I think
Interested to
they're.
see do you think they'll buy in January
Oh
that they
yeah,
might. I think so. Yeah, I think they're talking. They're looking at who's that we're looking at?
Neves, Ruben Neves.
No, not Ruben Neves. It was another midfielder that we were talking. Was it Conor Gallagher? Someone else I read there the other day that they
Conor,
were looking
yeah,
at.
Conor Gallagher leaving, well, supposedly
Yeah,
leaving Chelsea. It's a strange one.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
yeah, he's like they're being their best player really the last few
Yeah,
few months. But I don't know. I don't think he's in the vision of the owners.
I
Wearing
don't
the
know. He
captain's
just
armband as well. It's mad, like he's going around with
Yeah.
the captain's armband as well. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. He'd be like he's not world class, but he is a solid player. And I
Yeah.
mean, there's plenty of teams that could use him. So like, we'll see.
I think Poch likes him, but it's again the ownership I think are want to go in a different direction by looks of it. Because Poch
Yeah.
keeps playing him like so.
Do you
Yeah.
reckon the market might be like outside of fucking the Chelsea circus? But I'm not sure. Like, a lot of clubs seem to be kind of strapped enough, I think, with the FFP. So I'm not sure whether or not there'll be too much going on
No, be
in
quiet. I think
January.
Arsenal have to sell someone I think, before or get someone in loan. They're not going to be able to.
And the Everton thing as well would have kind of put the cat amongst the
Yeah,
pigeons about
yeah,
lads that might
exactly.
be.
I
It
think
may kind of.
United, the owners of United came out as well said don't be expecting any business in January. Like so, I'd say it could be quiet enough.
Yeah.
Just one.
Liverpool might be
All
fine.
right. Just one question. Okay. Yes or no for both. Ivan Toney, will he leave Brentford? Howard in January.
I would say yeah, he will. I could say I'd say
Dan,
I'd say he will. Yeah.
No, I think it'll be the summer.
you think summer? Okay.
Yeah.
So you both think he's going to go? And next question, again, just an answer. Where do you think he'll go? Club. Dan.
Um, oh, I would think he'd suit Arsenal.
Yeah. I think
But
Arsenal as well.
yeah, but also the Hammers, like the way they play as well, he'd be a cracking
Oh
signing for West Ham.
yeah, yeah.
So maybe the two probably ones that for me, geez, I take him though as well. I think he's a very good player, and I think he'd be again on that list with Bowen. He's proven it that he can get goals and score against the big teams, and he's a handful as well. So if he's able to put his problems behind him or whatever like that, I think he's a quality player. So I think Arsenal would be foolish not to go from, but I think he'd be big sign for West Ham as well. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Howard, do you think he'd go to Arsenal?
I think he'd definitely go to Arsenal, but whether Arsenal can afford him or want to put him as their main target, I don't know. I've
What?
heard rumors of it of him coming of him like trying to get him on a loan with an obligation to buy in the summer.
How much would
Um,
Brentford look for him, do you think?
I'd say over 50. I'd say maybe
Uh,
60 million, maybe.
I think that'd be in around what he'd be.
But like
I wouldn't.
I don't know. Like Dan, you're saying quality player. I'm not 100% sold on him. Like you know what I mean. Like he scores a lot of penalties. Like from his records, that he had. He's a handful, all right. But I don't know. Is he your 30 goal a year striker that he's going to stick up there? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I suppose the argument is always going to be for a player that's playing at a lesser club. Like, if you think about it,
yeah,
like, the players that he is playing around at Brentford for his record that he has, goal scoring record, and for probably as pragmatic at times as they are, as that as well. Like he has done very well. Whether you put him into West Ham or similar, to maybe style wise to Brentford, whether you put him into an Arsenal side, it either goes one or two ways. It brings him on playing with better players, or otherwise he's not able for going to a bigger club. You don't know until
yeah,
you take that. Like, I suppose, excuse the
yeah,
pun, but there's a gamble in with Ed Tony. But
yeah.
the other thing I was just thinking of there is them fucking pricks Chelsea are looking for a striker. They could go for him in
No,
January.
Chelsea would be
Uh,
Chelsea and Arsenal apparently are in for him. That's the two
yeah,
clubs
yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you had, like, surely as a footballer, though, like, if you had the choice
Oh,
of
it has
Chelsea
to be
or Arsenal,
Arsenal.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh
right
yeah,
now, Chelsea are like, they're a bunch of good players, whereas Arsenal are a team, and
yeah.
that's precise what Arsenal
See,
need. Like,
yeah,
he
what
beat
I'm here, like if Arsenal go in for him, he'll go to Arsenal. But I think I've heard stuff that Arsenal are trying to look at Osimhen maybe in the summer
Yeah.
instead of going for Tony. So there's a release clause now. Osimhen signed a new contract. He's a release clause, I think, of 110 million around. So there's a chance that Arsenal might just save and do do a Declan Rice kind of expenditure to buy one big player in the summer. So
Yeah, it's
they
one of those
might go
good
down
players.
that avenue.
Tony
All
is a
right,
Liverpool fan as well, just saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there you go.
Come
Well,
on,
like
so
Ivan. Come
if you
on.
didn't have Nunez, you'd probably go for him. But
I still
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Nunes will come good. All right, last segment, and then we will break up for the Christmas. Fantasy football. Dan, how has the weekend gone? I know there's one game left today, Wolves and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So that outside of that game, first of all, where are we? How did the games go over the weekend so far?
And I'll speak firstly from my own self. So I used my chip, which was the free hit. And
all
Okay.
yeah,
right.
I took a fucking hit, all right. It
Shit.
didn't go according. It didn't go according to the plan. So basically, what free hit is you can
Uh,
change your entire team for 1 week. I had about 4 players that wouldn't play, so I had a couple of City players in that, so I'd have to take like -8 or -12 just to have 11 players playing. So I decided, fuck it, I'm playing my 48. I could do with a confidence booster going into the Christmas, but by God, my fucking turkey is going to be bitter on Stevens' Day, on Christmas Day. It was an absolute nightmare. Yeah, I had an absolute nightmare. So, yeah, where do I even start? I had Villa, double up in Villa defender and goalkeeper. So they obviously conceded. It was all going well there. Martinez and Konza, and then they conceded. I went for Wilson instead of Solanke. Had looked at both of them and thought that Newcastle away at Luton. I thought Forrest might get the bounce factor against Bournemouth, so that was what swayed me there. The bounce. And I could have bounced fucking my phone off the wall listening to Solanke going away with a hat trick. Fuck me. So anyway, I won't.
Well, I got Watkins
Yeah,
in, and he sort of played
yeah,
as
sure.
captain, and he just had
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yeah, it's so funny the amount of giving out I read online about Watkins. Loads of people captain him, and it seems to be people bring him in. And anytime anyone ever brings him in, he's one of them players. You bring him in, he does nothing, and you don't have him. He bangs into a game like. But anyway, so that's enough of my the violins I'm sure are out here on the with the it was a pain. It was a terrible weekend. So
Well, how did everyone else do, Dan? Was it like
so
off the board?
Connor Jordan break had a monstrous weekend. So not only did he win 50 quid, but he also had a monstrous weekend in the fantasy football. So he ended up with 78 points, which moved him up to fourth place. And that was, I think, the biggest. Yeah, that was the biggest. I think near enough. Yeah, it was the biggest score at the weekend. So he had Solanke, of course. He captained Richarlison, which, in fairness, it was a fucking shot in the dark. I think, but he reaped the benefits from him, and he had Gabriel as well, who got him 10 points. So he had a monstrous week there. He's up to 4. So it's very interesting. So we have Andrews Curly with Curly Wordies, right? So he's top. And my cousin Claire used her free hit. Didn't go great for her now either, but she's 2 points off him. And I think they both only have Cole Palmer to play, so that won't change. But Paul Breslin, who is 4 points off top, has Jackson today, I think, in his. And if Jackson was to go and score today, pretty much, and Palmer wasn't to do anything, he would end up being top for Christmas. So it's kind of it's tight there. Like it's not getting really tight at the top. So there's only between the top 4. There is 7 points between the top 4.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, and even like then you have other guys there that have gone into the kind of 1,000 mark. So like basically from I won't include myself in it because I haven't hit the 1,000 mark. So from 11th to 1st, there's about 50 points. Yeah, there's
wow. From 11th to 1st, there's only 53.
Yeah, points in it, like, yeah, because like Enda McDonald there in 11th is 1,006, and then top as 1,053. So whatever is less than 50, actually.
I'm not in that top 11, am I?
No, so I did. I'm just looking. Hang on, I have to scroll down here, but I know you're only.
You're a joke. I'm sorry, man. Right? All right, you're a good man and all that, but
at least I have the cojones to compete in the league deck.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. You can't be criticized for a man who doesn't even fucking have the cojones to take part.
I have to run this podcast and give you the opportunity to kind of show.
Yeah.
The only thing you've done is you've ran away from a bit of fucking crack.
Come here. Come here now. Andrew Curley, okay? I had anticipated that he would be top. We spoke about it last week, but if he is top of Christmas, we'll get a quote from him, which we did. So I contacted him during the week. So again, presuming he is top right now, and presuming everything goes his way with the Chelsea game today, he will be top for Christmas. So whether that's an omen or not, we don't know because it's the first season of a podcast. But his quote is, "Christmas greetings from the summit. While you all fumble in the dark, I channel my inner Arteta and the mighty Arsenal to thrive. Trusting the process, adhering to financial fair play, and keeping my virtual dressing room merrier than yours. Enjoy chasing shadows, lads. I am the leader." Love the podcast. Keep up the good work. Happy Christmas to all.
Very good.
My God, he needs to be taken down a peg.
So, do you know what? Can you just do me a favor? So, if Jackson does score today and if the table does change, I want you. Can you try and cut that we have the table on one side with him not top, and it is say Paul Breslin or whatever is top? Can you do that?
Definitely.
I would like that.
Definitely.
And Andy's quote there somewhere in the mix.
Other than that, though, fair play to you. In fairness, it's a war of attrition, and if he is top of Christmas, in fairness, he's been in and around that for a while, so he's been consistently
Yeah.
up there. So yeah, fair play.
No, in
Cody,
fairness, he's been one of the consistent ones. Yeah, there's a couple that have been they're up there. Paul Breslin, Claire, Dan, you're doing all right. Whereabouts are you now?
No, I'm 14th, but like I've been. To be honest with you, I just for weeks I've been scraping for perfection, and I've actually just dug a big fucking deep hole. I didn't want to go ring Flynn's funeral home there and just ask him to fucking just bury me because I'm done. It's not gone. It's not going well. No, January, the wild card will be coming out in January, so hopefully I'll be able to get it. But my problem is like I have no one coming off my bench that coming in. Some of the players aren't even playing now.
Your squad. So you're saying your squad lacks depth?
Yeah, the squad lacks depth. There's a few there. Like, look, you can't have everybody, but I have a few there. Like, I kept Nunes in for about 8 weeks more than I should have, and that hasn't helped me. And then like not having Son is probably criminal as well. I think Son is one now that he might be. Well, actually, in saying that, January will be interesting because Salah, Son, there's a few that will be going to the African Nations Cup. So, and he's going to the Asian Asian Cup or something. Is there an Asian Cup? So he's going as well. So that'll be interesting come January time as well for who people will transfer in and out. Anyway, it's a long way to go, lads. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and there is the club jersey of your choice will go to the winner. That pretty much concludes us, men. 20 episodes in. I'd like to say a special thank you to both of you for the funny, mad, crazy stuff you bring each week. I don't like you, but you're pretty good on the pod. Thank you to all the listeners and viewers.
The feeling's mutual, Deck. The feeling's mutual.
Howard, you're drunk. Keep quiet unless speak unless you're spoken to. No, genuinely. Thank you very much to everyone who's listened, who has watched, who continues to subscribe and follow. I really appreciate all the positive feedback. Actually, Howard, before we go, you told me last night that someone in Dublin approached you, a randomer, and said, well done on the podcast or something.
Yeah. It's just the paparazzi up in Dublin, guys. It's getting crazy.
I think they were on the magic mushrooms.
talking to a fucking lamppost or something. Come here, like, did he say to you, what did he say? Keep speaking the truth or something?
He's speaking the truth about Arsenal. Yeah, I met two people. One that was Adam Kennedy that I knew, and another lad was just random lad from. He said he's from Athlone, so I don't know. I know you guys probably know him. Didn't get his name.
And he just recognized you and put basically the podcast and Howard together.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's class.
Well, look, I have one of them faces, I guess.
I'm making you both a household name, man. All right. That'll do. Listen, man, have a great Christmas. And the podcast, episode 21, will be back on Tuesday, the 8th of January. So, Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy New Year. Cheers, man.
Thanks,
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Good luck.